A WWE transfer window has just opened between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Looks like we're going to get a bunch of trades going on in preparation for Netflix Raw. Netflix has said that they want big stars, and the biggest two right now are going to be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. They're on SmackDown, and I feel they're going to have to be going to Netflix. Do I want them to be? Doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do today is talk about who I want, who I think should, and, well, just the reality of who I just believe will go to Netflix or SmackDown or NXT. We're going to start off with the big two. Cody and Roman, they're going to Netflix. I just believe it in my heart, in my mind, in my soul. Because WWE, like I said, they want this to be a success, and Netflix wants them. Even though Roman can go anywhere he pleases, I think Netflix wants him on paper, say he belongs to Netflix. So how they're going to do this is just probably a straight up trade with Cody and Gunther. We've already seen Nick Aldis talking to Gunther on a previous episode of SmackDown. So they're probably just going to do a straight up trade there. But then there's Roman Reigns. He's probably going to be traded to Netflix because what'll happen is this. I think it'll start with Liv Morgan brokering a deal to trade the Bloodline onto Raw and the Judgment Day onto SmackDown, because Liv Morgan is going to try to get away from Rhea Ripley, so she brokers that trade. So Sikoa is okay with it because he sees Netflix as like untapped resources. He sees it as so much potential, the promised land. He wants to be on board of this streaming service Raw, and so he's like, yeah, we'll go over there. So he goes over there for like the prospects of conquering an uncharted land, while Liv goes to SmackDown to run away from Rhea Ripley. Now, here's the thing. Either we have Rhea take the belt from Liv, but she says, I'm still coming for you, and Liv runs away, or they have one more match, Liv outsmarts Rhea, and she goes to SmackDown with the title, and now Rhea can't get it. But now we have two titles on SmackDown, so what do? Easy. We could always just put Nia on Raw, but that's too easy. Have Tiffany cash in, win. She wins the championship either from Liv Morgan or Nia Jax, and then she goes to Raw. And that would be amazing because it would be such a face move, and we're trying to get Tiffany to be a face anyway. So now Tiffany takes the title back to Raw with her, either Nia or Liv Morgan's. And so Roman Reigns now, back to him, he says, well, I'm going after the Bloodline. I don't care what brand I'm on. I'm above SmackDown. I'm above Raw. He just goes after the Bloodline, and that's why he goes to Raw. And while on the subject of transfers, I want to transfer this belt to you. Yes, you right there, not you. I want to give this belt to you. I want to transfer this belt to you, but you have to comment below. That's how I will pick who I'm giving this belt to. At 10,000 subscribers, I will pick a random comment from a random video. If you're subscribed, then this can go to you. So, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, maybe a thumbs up if you're so kind, and I'll give this belt away at 10,000 subscribers because I am trying to become a full-time YouTuber. We just hit 7K. It'll be free shipping. I'll do it live on a stream so you guys will know I am legit. You can ask people. I think it's Moneybird and KB. I've given away items so far to people. I'm legit. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. So guys, girls, make sure you comment and subscribe. Let's keep the video rolling. So now, though, we have SmackDown losing Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. We already did the Gunther Cody trade, so who can replace Roman Reigns on SmackDown? Look in my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk. And I know CM Punk's a huge name. Netflix probably wants it. But to be honest, Netflix probably wants everybody. We can't completely ruin SmackDown, though. CM Punk would be a good choice to go to SmackDown because of this reason. AEW. Like what? Yeah, when AEW tried to separate Punk from all the children, they put him on Collision. Collision was like an island unto itself on Saturday night while they had their main show on Wednesday night, right? But Collision did decent numbers because CM Punk is going to have a following no matter what. So let's put CM Punk, a big name, on Friday, because Friday's going to lose a lot of its luster and star power, but it has to have something. And if CM Punk has his own fans that will no matter what follow him, well, there you go. Plus, the World Championship is now on that brand, and that seems to be the title he's kind of going after. So now CM Punk can be on SmackDown and be the complete face. There's no questions asked who's the face of your brand. It would definitely 100% be CM Punk. And I think CM Punk really likes being that locker room leader, that the captain of the football team. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I really think he wears that with pride. He's going to go to SmackDown and try to be a leader there on and off the camera. So now let's do a couple call-ups. We're going to do Lash Legend and Shakira Jackson to Raw. We could do the whole metaphor if you want, but those two are the money, in my opinion. And then we're going to send Oba Femi to SmackDown. I just love Oba Femi, and I could see him totally just being dominant anywhere he goes. But Oba Femi, I'm sending him to SmackDown to give them a little bit of star power. That'll be a good place for him to kind of just really shine as a rookie and not have to really worry about the shark-infested waters of Raw. But eventually he will go there, but right off the bat, rookie year, SmackDown. And he should just pretty much just clean house, just feed him a bunch of jobbers for a good 6 months. NXT, they're not going to get a really fair trade. I'm going to be honest with you. We could give them Fantasma Delgado. That would be okay, because then Fantasma Delgado could feud with the D'Angelo family. That might be fun and interesting. Both kind of have, well, one is definitely Mafia, while the other, kind of plays off the fact that they are like maybe a drug cartel. So we could definitely have those guys going at it. On the other side, we could send down Pure Fusion Collective. They just aren't cutting it. They aren't doing it. Shayna Baszler, her best years were in the NXT. Maybe just let them go down there for a good couple months and, run roughshod until the NXT people can overcome them and then send them back to Raw. So NXT definitely will get the short end of the stick here, and that's all they're getting. Kind of the wrestlers who are not working. But that's fine. That's fine. Wrestlers, they come back to NXT, they get repackaged, and then they go back to the main roster if that's what NXT is for. You have some main roster people that can give the rub to NXT people. So it's cool. It's cool. No real worries. We already saw American Made debut on SmackDown, but they haven't made it official. But I say just make it official. American Made should definitely be on SmackDown. They had a very poor booking on Raw, so giving them a refresh on SmackDown. So they just lost on Raw. Give them a fresh start on SmackDown. Yeah, they started with a loss, but they lost to the champion, so, no shame in losing to the champion. But after that, they need to be super strong from this point forward, and they can do something, because what I want to actually happen with SmackDown is a recreation of the SmackDown 6. In SmackDown 6, they were Edge, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, and Kurt Angle. They basically, during the Ruthless Aggression era, which is after the Attitude era, basically there was a hard brand split. It was even harder than now that you could not jump between brands. Raw, with all their storylines, we had Triple H and his reign of terror, but on SmackDown, it was really, there were storylines, and there were great storylines, but it was very heavy based on the wrestling ability of the wrestlers, and particularly 6 wrestlers. So what I want to happen here is, let's have a lot of story-driven narratives on Raw, but we'll have the SmackDown 6 on SmackDown. And we got Finn Balor because of the Liv Morgan trade. We got Gunther because of the Cody Rhodes trade. We get Chad Gable. We've already said that he's kind of already established here. We just need to get a couple more solid hands. Would CM Punk be one of the SmackDown 6? I don't think so. I feel that he should be like very high in the main event, but you know who we could get? Seth freaking Rollins. Even though he's super high in the main event, I still think he'd be like the really established main eventer who becomes part of the SmackDown 6, and he'll be traded for Randy Orton. Randy Orton needs to follow Cody so he can be his backup until he eventually turns on him. They can have their feud, and Randy Orton, he seems like kind of a Netflix guy anyways, a Monday Night Raw guy anyways, because when he turns heel, he's a very mean, sadistic heel, and we kind of need that ability to go a little TV-14 for heel Randy. But Seth Rollins, he's always up for a challenge. When they needed a world championship title to be prestigious and have credibility, they gave it to Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins he was the inaugural world heavyweight champion and made it into something special. So now we have SmackDown, which is losing all of its major star power, who everybody's going to be like, well, that's the B show. Well, I can see Seth Rollins really wanting to prove the critics wrong and that SmackDown can be the A show, even though it's done on Netflix. So SmackDown will be Seth Rollins' show and CM Punk's show, and hey, those two hate each other, and they can always be kind of feuding also. And Seth Rollins can go to the mid-card kind of and fight with the SmackDown 5 at this point. We'll figure out someone else to be a part of it, but we can have a definite, distinct, visible difference between the brands in that Raw is going to be a lot more story driven and SmackDown will be a lot more wrestling driven with stories, vice versa, stories with wrestling, wrestling with stories. We have a very distinct identities. A couple other people that could join, we could throw Lyra Valkyria. She's not doing a great job on Raw. Throw her to SmackDown. She can definitely bump it up there. We could put Bianca on Raw. That's not a fair trade. I don't really have a reason for that. I just feel that she would do really, really well on Raw. I feel she'd be a great spokeswoman for the women's division, especially because it's about to be shown everywhere. So we need to get some high top tier talent there. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. We really have to have the women's division really show up to show the world that WWE's women's division is nonstop awesome, and we can send more NXT people there as well. But when Jade comes back, Jade will go to SmackDown because it'll be revealed, hopefully, that it was Naomi that pulled the trigger on her and injured her. So Jade will go to SmackDown to actually go after her attacker, even if it's Naomi or not. And that's why they will have a split, and eventually they'll come back together at Royal Rumble and maybe start their feud there or Elimination Chamber. But as of right now, that is a way to get them split up from each other, Bianca and Jade. And the last person I did not mention is going to be LA Knight. Yeah, where does he go? Basically, he goes wherever Cody is not. For real. Cody is going to be like the pure baby face of one brand, and LA Knight needs to be the pure baby face of the other brand. And if he gets into it with CM Punk, that's fine, because LA Knight needs to be able to have someone that he can go toe-to-toe on the mic with. We know they're not going to put Cody Rhodes with LA Knight. LA Knight will cook him. But LA Knight versus CM Punk, I believe that would be a good sparring battle right there. And so LA Knight just needs to be the up-and-coming face, the most popular wrestler on his brand, so he just needs to stay away from Cody's brand, because those two are never going to really feud as faces, because it would just hurt Cody too much. So just keep LA Knight on the other brand and he can raise up there. And one more, Logan Paul, put him on Raw. Put him on Raw. He's a celebrity and he would be great to gain traction and views and everything. And there's John Cena as well, but we've already know that John Cena is going to be a Raw Netflix guy, so he's not really on the list either. So there you go, my list of transfers between the three brands. Who do you think should go? Do you agree with my list, or do you think that maybe Obafemi should go to Raw, maybe Roman should stay on SmackDown, maybe we should send more people down to NXT? Should John Cena go to NXT? Yes, let that be his 17th World Championship victory, the NXT Championship. Oh my God, the internet would explode. I'd be all for that. Actually, that'd be hilarious. But no, for real, what do you guys think of my list? Let me know in the comments below, and have yourselves a great day.